not clickbait, but I am going to pull back the curtain on a few things right off the bat. So first of all, I'm recording this the night before I leave to go to NAIC. That way it is still close to the tournament, but it can go up right after the tournament without me having to worry about recording it then. What that does mean, of course, is that as I'm speaking right now, I don't know how I did at NAIC. Maybe I went positive at a major tournament for the first time. That would be pretty exciting. Maybe I made day 2. Or maybe I went 1-8, and I never want to see this team again. More likely somewhere in between. This will be my 4th major in-person tournament, and my past results are 4-5, 4-5, 3-6. So if I have to guess how I'll do, that's about the ballpark, but obviously hoping for better, as always. Second reveal, I actually thought that I might talk more about my prep in a video or two along the way, but the reason I didn't is mostly that for a long time I felt like my prep was going very badly. I wasn't having a good time, to be honest. Mostly just trying to find a team to use. I really struggled to find a team that I even like in this format, even though it is... People say it's a good and diverse format, and I believe that. I really do. Yeah, I had a bad time for a long while finding a team. I guess that happens to VGC players sometimes. I'm not used to it hitting as hard as it did this time. On paper, I thought that the restricted Pokemon that probably best fit my playstyle was Zamazenta, but I tried a bunch of Zamazenta teams. Some I made myself, some I got from other people. Also a recreation of the one that won Stockholm. In fact, I recorded a bad video that I never uploaded where I used the Stockholm team, but it just didn't feel right. Nothing clicked. It's not like I was losing every set, but I was unhappy with how many I was losing for where I was on the ladder, and even the ones I was winning felt like a slog. I tried a bunch of Terapagos teams. That wasn't much better. I tried Miraidon. More like meh Rhydon. I tried a little bit of Shadow Rider and a little bit of Kyogre, and I still wasn't finding any answers. And eventually, the LA Regional was happening 2 weeks ago, a week and a half as I'm saying this, and I was cycling through Zamazenta teams, feeling bad about them, but resigned to maybe taking one of the tournament, and I was just crossing my fingers and hoping maybe when the team lists come out from LA, I'll see something that finally clicks for me, that I finally, honestly, even just enjoy using when I try it out. I wasn't very confident at that point that was going to work, but it did work, and that brings me to reveal number 3. I did not build my own team for NAIC this year in any sense other than actually assembling and training the Pokemon in-game. I get 0 building credit. I just copied the exact team that got 11th place in LA, used by a player named Grant Weldon. Probably should have given it a name instead of just Untitled 1. But you may have seen this team already. I've watched, the creator tweeted out the rental right after the LA Regional, and I've read some more of his tweets about it. I've watched a YouTube video or 2 about it, and I think even Cybertron had a video where he used it just today, which I haven't gotten to yet, but I will have to watch it for the tournament, of course. This is a much more hyper-offensive team than I thought I was likely to take to the tournament. But I don't know. I tried out the rental same night. The creator tweeted it out. I thought, this looks like a really cool team. Let me give it a go. And something just clicked. Like I say, I just felt so much better using this team than anything else I had tried so far in this format. And that kind of is something that I look for in a team. I'm a relative latecomer to VGC. Didn't really start playing it at all until the pandemic. Didn't start going to tournaments until last year. And I'm a little on the older side for a present-day VGC player. Just a little, but... You know, the years of my life where I could have been grinding away on Showdown for hours each day are pretty much gone now. And almost inevitably, when I do tournament prep, I reach a point where I get kind of frustrated because I have more team ideas than I have time to actually try out, and I have to prune them, and I'm still not very good at that yet. So one thing I tend to look for is a team that I find intuitive to use, even on just a basic level. Of course, I still have to practice with it. I still have to think about matchups. I still have to look at what went wrong when I lose. But that initial feeling that a team just is working for me, that I know what I'm doing with it, and that it feels good to use, is something that I look for and something that I didn't find in Regulation G until this team. By now, if you're watching this, you might have seen the team explained already by a much better player than me, like Cybertron, or even the original creator, Grant Weldon, but just going through it quickly, the main offensive piece is actually not the restricted Pokemon, it's Regidrago. Life Orb Regidrago can get off huge damage into basically anything except fairy types with Dragon Energy. Huge spread damage, not sure I said spread the first time. And with Terra Ghost, it can avoid Fake Out and even like extreme speed, but mostly it's for Fake Out. And yeah, it can just come in and start blasting in a lot of situations. Where they do throw fairies at it, you have Zacian in the restricted slot to pick on them. So you have a very strong Steel-type restricted Pokemon with a great speed tier. Not as fast as Shadow Rider Calyrex, which is kind of unfortunate, but faster than most things, and it can just pick on them with Behemoth Blade, which of course Ironhead turns into when it's in its crowned sword form. Zacian is also largely the team's Miraidon answer, which is why it has the ground Terra type with Terra Blast. The standard Miraidon sets have some trouble dealing with that. The core, I'd say, is rounded out by Chi-Yu and Amoonguss. Chi-Yu, of course, boosts Regidrago's damage just by being on the field, but it also, with a Choice Scarf, is a very fast special attacker itself, so it and Regidrago can team up to break a Focus Sash and knock things out, or there's just not much that can take a Heat Wave and a Dragon Energy in one turn. If you take on a Trick Room team, which can be an issue for this team, sometimes you can deny Trick Room by just clicking Heat Wave and Dragon Energy or something like that, and it's just too much offensive pressure for the opponent to get Trick Room up. Chi-Yu, of course, also has the Ghost Terra type. And then Whimsicott is, I'd say, the fourth core piece, giving a ton of speed control to this team. So Tailwind, of course, is huge, with the Regidrago not being especially fast and with opposing Tailwind teams running around. But then this Whimsicott also doubles down on being faster than the opponent by combining Tailwind with Cotton Spore. If we both have Tailwind up, then I can use Cotton Spore into anything other than a Grass type and make sure that my team keeps that speed advantage. It also gets a not too terribly weak Moonblast with the 252 special attack investment. Amoonguss and Ogerpon are more situational pieces and probably more replaceable, although I didn't make any changes to the team, I did think about it. Amoonguss is one of the best pieces into Trick Room matchups. Trick Room, if the opponent gets it up, can be a very real problem because there are a lot of not very slow, not super bulky offensive Pokemon on this team. Having that super slow Spore can really slow things down, help you stall out Trick Room very well. I often find that if I'm facing a Trick Room matchup, my best mode is like Chi-Yu, Regidrago, try to deny the Trick Room, Zacian to cover for fairies and the like, and then if that doesn't work out, then Amoonguss is a nice emergency button. And then Ogerpon, Wellspring Mask form, the creator even said is probably the most expendable Pokemon on this team, and but it is useful to shore up the matchup into fire types, because Zacian doesn't like to deal with fire types. You have two other grass types besides Ogerpon. Chi-Yu, if you're spamming fire attacks, doesn't hit them super well. And then Ogerpon can also be useful into some rain teams. So even if you're just taking on like a Pelipper on say a Zamazenta team that doesn't really take advantage of rain otherwise, the Pelipper can pose some trouble for the spread attackers with Wide Guard. It could maybe Terra Fairy on Regidrago, but you can get a boosted Ivy Cudgel with offensive Wellspring Mask Ogerpon, maybe even Terrasilize that to turn off its flying weakness and get the special defense boost, and it can put in some work against a Pelipper team where opponents fall short. I'm sure it's also strong into Kyogre. I'm not sure I've actually played that matchup yet. That's a lot of upside to this team. I am not picking it as a meta call. In fact, I think that the recent rise of Shadow Rider Calyrex with the Fairy Terra type is actually a problem for this team, because it's a relatively hard Fairy type for Zacian to bully, since it's faster and has so much offensive pressure of its own, or they could even play Trick Room version. It is certainly a playable matchup with different modes available depending on what version of the Calyrex team that they have, but it could be a problem, and I could be in for a bad time if I see a lot of them at NAIC, which recent meta developments suggest that I might. I even considered, because like I said, the creator considered Ogerpon a Pokemon that could be potentially dropped for something else. I even considered bringing a Wide Guard user instead. Maybe even like Regigigas, which is a bulky normal type with Wide Guard. But like I said, in the end, I wasn't sure how I would make up for what Ogerpon brings against rain teams in particular, and I didn't, a week and a half from when I first heard of the team to now, I didn't have a ton of time to test a bunch of different ideas to modify a more accomplished player's team, so I decided to just keep it as is. But like I said, it's not really a meta call, it's a comfort pick. This team has felt much more comfortable to use for me than anything else that I've tried so far. It's felt much more fun to use, which is important when I'm spending a lot of money and traveling a long way to play a game. I want to have fun. And it even has the additional benefit that being a very offensive team, it tends to play short games. And I know at NAIC last year, a lot of my sets happened to be over relatively quickly. And even though I'm there to play the game, I kind of liked that because I had lots of time to go get a snack or a coffee or something. I might get that benefit again this time. That's not the worst thing. And for the part of me that just likes using cool Pokemon and likes having a narrative to it, first of all, I said that this is my 4th major event. I happen to have on this team that someone else created 1 Pokemon from each of my first 3. I used a Moongus in my first event, Chi-Yu in my second, Wellspring Mask Ogerpon in my third. Here they all are again. Of course, I just retrained the same ones, so I'm running it back with them again, pushing for better results than before. Regidrago is just a really cool Pokemon. I'm not that big a fan for legendary Pokemon of the Regis, but for some reason this one really clicks for me, not only competitively, but also design-wise. It's a super cool Pokemon that should be a lot of fun to use. Zacian's alright, and then, and Whimsicott, of course. Gotta love Whimsicott. Actually, I shiny hunted Whimsicott for this tournament, so let's make this one shiny, because my real tournament Whimsicott will be. That's enough ramble for now. I think I'm a little tight on time because I have to get ready. Again, I'm leaving tomorrow morning to go to New Orleans. So I think instead of my usual play until 3 losses, I think what I'm going to do is play 9 ladder games right now to symbolize the 9 rounds of Pokemon that I'm definitely playing this weekend, whether I advance to play yet more or not. Hopefully that will not be hopefully that will not be a longer video than playing until 3 losses would, but that's what we're going to do. 9 games to symbolize 9 rounds. Let's see how it goes. When was the last time I laddered on this account? Might be seeing some low ladder stuff. This person has Archaladon. I'll accept open team sheets, of course, so I'll have open team sheets this weekend. Okay, Archaladon, White Kyurem, Iron Jugulus, Electabuzz, Whimsicott, and Torterra. I mean, they have 2 credible Tailwind users, and I guess Whimsicott can set Trick Room, but I don't really see it. But also, their team's not that fast. I think this is a situation where the only thing is, like... Oh, okay, hold on. The Whimsicott has Tailwind, the Jugulus doesn't. I was thinking about just leading Chi-Yu, Regidrago, and trying to pop off, but I think I need my Whimsicott to keep up speed control if they lead their Whimsicott, so I'll lead that with... I think Regidrago is probably fine. Terra Fairy on Archaladon and Electabuzz. We'll cross those bridges as we get to them, and then I'll just bring Zacian and Chi-Yu. That's kind of some permutation of those 4 Pokemon is kind of the basic mode for this team. And like I said, Ogerpon and Ogerpon and Moongus are more situational. Here, I'm just going to set Tailwind, and I'm actually going to Protect and see if I draw out the Terra Fairy on the Archaladon. It seems like an obvious thing for them to go for here. I guess I didn't talk about Regidrago carrying Terra Blast. I think even the creator was not that enthusiastic about it, but like Regidrago just doesn't have a ton of... Oh, that's okay, they got me with that. Regidrago just doesn't have a ton of coverage. I've actually found it pretty useful in some situations. It can get some chip on Shadow Rider Calyrex and Ice Rider Calyrex as well. I actually found it very good in a Screamtail matchup I was playing on the best of 3 ladder the other night. So, good use cases for it for sure, as I don't really know what I want to do here. I mean, I think I have to switch Regidrago out. I don't especially want to keep Whimsicott in. Let's break the sash on their Whimsicott, and let's just switch to Zacian. Can they punish that? Maybe, but not very... They don't have great tools to punish it. That Moonblast really didn't do much. It is a Stamina Archaladon. It also has an Assault Vest. Let's just try to knock out their Whimsicott, if they'll let me. Do they have Protect? They don't. And I will just go right for a Behemoth Blade into our Chaladon. We'll live with the stamina boost. They should do a lot of damage. Actually, they swapped Torterra, so they should do a lot of damage to that. They do get their Tailwind up. Oh, we almost KO Torterra. And we do KO Whimsicott. So... Oh, and the taunt ends this turn too. So actually, I could just get my Tailwind up, offset from theirs. And this has played out very well for me. Pretty beneficial, actually, that things worked out as they did. Here, okay, the Torterra has Wide Guard, Shell Smash, Wood Hammer, and Headlong Rush. I'm actually gonna try to finish the Torterra off and protect Zacian. I guess they can beat this by double targeting Whimsicott, so there's some risk to it. Oh, did they get me? No, okay, they tried to get Zacian with the Torterra, so I do get rid of Torterra here, it can't set up, and I still get my Tailwind. If they had attacked the Whimsicott with Torterra, then they would have denied me Tailwind for this game, but they didn't. And here, now I definitely get my Tailwind up. Honestly, actually, Cotton Spore is better, isn't it? Because it doesn't wear off. So let's actually just put Cotton Spore. They can't switch, is the part that I wasn't saying there. And I'm going to try to pick up the Archaladon here. I don't know. I wouldn't bet this KOs, but I feel like I can more easily overwhelm the Kyurem with my Pokemon in the back than I can the Archaladon, especially since it's a Fairy type. But yeah, the Cotton Spore... Oh, okay, we do just knock it out with a crit. The Cotton Spore is like a permanent Tailwind for me now. In any case, they fail to knock anything out again this turn, and we'll just Moonblast Behemoth Blade, not in that order. The Behemoth Blade knocks out the Kyurem. One game down. On to the next. Okay, here's a Shadow Rider. And a Clefairy. And, you know, the usual suspects around them. Thundurus isn't that usual, but I think someone was using it in a tournament recently, right? So this person doesn't have Tailwind. It feels unlikely that they have Trick Room. So... I think I like Chi-Yu, Regidrago. I can try to draw out the Terra Fairy. If they lead Calyrex, I'll bring Zacian and I'll bring Whimsicott. I think that makes sense. But it is a tough matchup for sure. This is, again, kind of what I'm afraid of this weekend, that I might run into a bunch of teams that look like this. And if they're piloted by strong players, like I said, it's a playable matchup, but it might be kind of doomed for me if I'm up against someone especially good. I haven't actually thought enough about the Thundurus, I'm realizing. It could Scary Face, Thunder Wave, Fury Impulse. It actually can't do any of those things to Chi-Yu, but your Shifu can hit Chi-Yu with even an Aqua Jet. I'm going to swap to Whimsicott, I think. Protect her. Can't protect. Well, I can protect on her Shifu if I think it's going to attack Chi-Yu. I'm going to make that call. Eerie Impulse into Whimsicott. Okay, so they don't know. But they also do get me through the Protect there. And I might actually... If they drop Regidrago's speed, then I might just lose Regidrago here. But I'm gonna risk it for a chance to hit the Urshifu with Draco Meteor. Okay, they taunt Whimsicott, but not before I get my Tailwind up. And we do get rid of the Urshifu, so that's good. That's a plus. Oh, I didn't talk about the Life Orb Regidrago. I'm sure that's something Cybertron will have covered, but my understanding, not having done the math myself, is that Life Orb Regidrago, that Life Orb, well, of course, Life Orb Dragon Energy is stronger than Dragon Fang Dragon Energy at full HP, that's obvious, but then I think it's about the same at 90%. And at the point where you've gotten off 2 Dragon Energies, you're probably putting in plenty of work and not too worried about the Life Orb tip from there. I'm not very comfortable switching against this Calyrex, but obviously I'm in a bad position to deal with it. I guess I'll protect Regidrago. I don't feel great about that play. Okay, we do get draw out the Terra Fairy. And I went for Moonblast with Whimsicott. Not much else I can do, but yeah, they didn't show their team sheet. If it has a Sash, I've broken that now. if they play this smartly, they'll stall out my Tailwind turns here, and then I'll lose. I'll just try to chip the Calyrex with what I can. There's just nobody I want to switch in. Maybe I'm making the wrong call here. Maybe I do need to be aggressively switching, anticipating that they'll let my Pokemon stay alive while they stall out the Tailwind. But I don't know. Yeah, I think that is how they're playing it. Okay, well, I don't think they knock Whimsicott out this turn. The Thundurus hasn't shown an attack yet. And Whimsicott's Sash is intact. I'm just gonna sack Regidrago if they attack this turn. Whimsicott can only click Moonblast. Oh, it's a berry. Okay. They do finally take down my Regidrago on the last turn of Tailwind. But I can get a fresh Tailwind. And the Thundurus is still only shown Eerie Impulse and Taunt. I feel like I have to go Zacian. I mean, I don't think Chi-Yu is taking a hit at this point. I just have to hope that I win the speed control game here. So, actually, what I can do even is Tailwind, Protect, and then Cotton Spore next turn. Assuming they let Whimsicott live, which I think they will, then I'm assured that Zacian is faster even if they get a Scary Face into it. Oh, they swapped to Rillaboom. Oh, that's so bad for me. Because I can't protect on the Fake Out now. Oh, they got me with that. Okay. Zacian... I can't let Zacian go down here. I feel like I Cotton Spore just as an insurance measure. The Tailwind doesn't last so long. And I'm just going to switch to Chi-Yu. Probably sacking it. But... yeah, the Fake Out is just too dangerous. This will probably knock out Chi-Yu. It does. Whimsicott survives for the Sash. They don't have Incineroar. We've seen all their Pokemon. I'm going to protect Whimsicott. And I'm going to go for a Behemoth Blade into Calyrex. They probably just protect it, though, don't they? It's probably not the right play. It's not too late for me to click cancel. I can just double protect here. I think I do double protect here. I think that protects Calyrex. I don't love that I don't have the attack boost from Intrepid Sword anymore, but I just was out of position. They actually switched Calyrex out. Well, that throws away all their boosts, so that's something, but... I, of course, don't have anyone I can switch in for Whimsicott anymore. And it's the last turn of Tailwind. I'm just going to try for the double protect. I really think that's my best play with Whimsicott here. And Behemoth Blade into Rillaboom, I might as well. I can get another Tailwind up if Whimsicott survives this turn. I still haven't used my Terra, but there's not really anything useful I can do with it at this point, so I probably just won't Terastallize this game. Unless I bring it down to just Zacian and Thundurus. Okay, Protect fails, so... They do deny me another Tailwind, thanks to the taunt on Whimsicott. I also can't Cotton Spore for the same reason, so I just have to hope that full HP Zacian comfortably tanks here. I'll go for a Moonblast for what it'll do, and a Behemoth Blade into Calyrex. If they have Scary Face, it's a good time to show it, but they're just gonna, okay, they're just gonna protect. And then they'll Fake Out Zacian here. So, I mean, I almost want to risk it and go for a Behemoth Blade, but there's no reason they don't Fake Out Zacian here. Yeah. So now I have to take a +1 single target Astral Barrage. I don't think that's going to work out. But let's see. Then I also have to beat the Rillaboom after that, and the Thundurus. So yeah, if this is a preview of NAIC, that's not great for me. But let's see what happens. Let's see if there's any possible way to still win this. I suspect not. I didn't mention, but of course, Amogus and Ogerpon. Oh. I guess that's smart. Yeah, they can soften Zacian up before Calyrex has to deal with it. I didn't mention, but Amogus and Ogerpon both have redirection, of course. With Ogerpon having the better redirection move, which even works on the likes of Rillaboom. So, if I were going to a game 2 here, I might consider whether there's room to bring one of them in. It's tricky, though. Like, yeah, they might help Whimsicott escape a taunt or something, but they're not great. They're not much help in a Calyrex. Okay, well, 1-1, 7 more to play, 7 more rounds. I don't have automatic timer on. Oops. This is a Trick Room team, needless to say. I could have Fake Out on the Grimmsnarl, but I will just bring... I'm actually just going to bring what I described as the anti-Trick Room mode. GU, Regidrago, Zacian, and Amogus. I think it looks fine here. There's case for Ogerpon, but... Okay, well that's going to set Psychic Terrain, so I don't have to worry about Fake Out. And I can just click Heat Wave Dragon Energy, I think. No Terra, because these are both Terra Ghost. That doesn't really offer any particular advantage here. It turns off Regidrago's Ice weakness, but the goal here is to not let Calyrex do anything this turn. So we'll see how that goes. That's Terra Water. It still takes a fair bit from a Heat Wave crit, and yeah, the Pokemon are gone. Where'd they go? I was really... Oh, okay, that was a quick one. I was really hyped the other night because I played a game where I was facing a Trick Room team, and I stalled out their Trick Room pretty successfully. And on the very last turn of Trick Room, I got a Tailwind up with Whimsicott, and then let both my Whimsicott and Zacian go down. And then Regidrago and Chi-Yu came in for free with Tailwind up and no more Trick Room. And that's about as powerful as I felt playing Pokemon in a while. I don't think the opponent forfeited, but they might as well have. This is a Rain team. I don't know what Lumineon does. I think it gets Storm Drain. Oh, it also gets Swift Swim. I did not know that. Ludicolo, of course, gets Swift Swim and Fake Out. So as much as I kind of want to lead Chi-Yu Regidrago, I think I lead Whimsicott Regidrago. I can Terra Ghost if I see a Fake Out user. Bring Zacian for a random Terra Fairy something, and yeah, Chi is not that great here. Let's bring... Honestly, maybe I should bring Ogerpon and Amogus and not Zacian. I don't think that's crazy. But I'll just bring Ogerpon with Zacian. We'll see how that goes. I'm not sure I've actually played a Kyogre yet with this team. So this is good pre-tournament practice. I will go ahead and Tailwind, and Ludicolo gets Fake Out, so I'll Terra Ghost, Dragon Energy. Terra Water Kyogre, they're just going for it. Oh, yeah, the Fake Out into, that. Didn't account for that properly. Well, live by the Hyper Offense, die by the Hyper Offense. Okay, so that wasn't the right play there. I guess I just needed to double protect. And then I could have saved my Terra. Yeah, alright, that was a little silly of me. But, it's what it is. Protect and Horn Leech here. So of course they protect Kyogre. Icy Wind. But Zacian's speed at least isn't dropped, so I can try... Well, they can just drop it now, can't they? I'll just go for Sacred Sword into Kyogre anyway. What am I doing at this point? Oh, they miss Icy Wind. That might be huge. Of course, we know that the Kyogre isn't choiced because he used Protect, but it does still go for Water Spout, which actually heals Ogerpon. It still does about half to Zacian after all that damage, but we do get rid of the Kyogre. And Here's the Glamora. I mean, I don't care about Toxic Spikes. Because I can't switch anyway. I'm gonna follow me so that Ludicolo can't just finish Zacian off with a Hydro Pump or something. Ah, Spiky Shield. Fair enough. They're still just going for Icy Wind, but that's not... You know, that is doing some damage to my Pokemon, but it's not just knocking them out promptly here. I think I can follow me Behemoth Blade again. Could be Sash Glamora. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna be pleasantly surprised if I recover from that turn 1. I just played that completely wrong. Not Sash Glamora. But hey, we're still making a game of it. I get an Archaludon, and they don't have their rain up anymore. But my Pokemon have a bunch of speed drops. Nonetheless, let's try to Sacred Sword, and I'm actually just going to try to get some healing with the Horn Leech. Maybe I need to double target the Archaludon, but hopefully I won't be punished for this somehow. My Pokemon are getting pretty low. Okay, I'm punished for it somehow. Oh, but that knocks out Ludicolo and gets some decent recovery. I'm going to Spiky Shield. If they go for Body Press again, that's a little more chip. And then I guess the only play I have left is to Ivy Cudgel and hope for a crit or something. Okay, they do just give me that Spiky Shield chip. Let's go for that Ivy Cudgel now. Oh, we survive! I can't just win with Spiky Shield here, can I? They're faster. Definitely faster. Okay, the only thing I can do is hope for a double, but I don't get it. Alright, well that was actually a close game in the end, even though I completely blundered turn 1. 2-2 so far, I think. 5 more to play. It's an interesting team. Zacian, Iron Leaves, some kind of Urshifu. Gonna guess Rapid Strike because of the Pelipper, but really I'm not that confident. Grimmsnarl, Pelipper, and Walking Wake. Let's lead Whimsicott, Regidrago. Let's bring... Yeah, I'll bring Chiyu. Will I bring Chiyu? There's certainly a case for it. But they got so much... They got at least 2, maybe 3 water types. They got Rain. I'll bring Zacian and Ogerpon again. Leave Chiyu on the bench for a second consecutive game. Feels a little weird. This could have Fake Out, so we'll not play it like last time. We'll play it differently this time. I can set up a Tailwind here, but then my Tailwind is still free next turn. They don't, they just go for Hurricane. It could be Sash Pelipper. I'll Tailwind. There's really no reason to click Dragon Energy. I'm weighing whether to click Draco Meteor when it could be Sash Pelipper. I think I'm okay with it. I don't want to be playing too passively here. Trick. Lagging Tail. That is Sash Pelipper. Alright. Well, here I'm just going to Moonblast the Pelipper slot and get a pretty free switch to Zacian. I mean, they could have, like, Thunder Wave. Although if it has Trick Lagging Tail, it probably doesn't have Thunder Wave. So I don't think there's much danger at all to Zacian here. Yeah, Pelipper's gone. What's the Grimmsnarl going to do? Foul play. Oh my god, that actually does a lot! That's the downside of a massive attack stat, I guess. Here I was like, tank a Spirit Break, no problem. Okay, Iron Leaves. Speed boosted. I don't take another foul play is the thing. I'm actually going to prioritize getting rid of Grimmsnarl, not because of that, but because it's their dragon immunity. So I'm just going to Zacian is faster than Whimsicott. That's important to remember. I'm going to Moonblast and Behemoth the Blade into the Grimsnarl slot, as they actually protect Iron Leaves, and I now have a Life Orb Whimsicott. I don't get the benefit of the Sash anymore, but that Moonblast is going to hurt a little extra. They bring in their Zacian, and I'm just going to protect Whimsicott so I can get my Tailwind back up. I'm tempted to Terra Blast the Zacian. The only thing is, I think they might protect it this turn, because they can try to stall out my Tailwind. So I'm actually just going to protect my Zacian. And if they do protect theirs, I might actually just Terra Ground Terra Blast next turn. Yeah, they did. Okay. They go for Psyblade. Yeah, I'm just going to set Tailwind, and I'm going to do exactly what I just said. I'm going to try to hit this Zacian with a super effective Ground Terra Blast. They can't switch. They're on their last two Pokemon. Yeah, gone. Okay, I guess they anticipated that, but now I get Regidrago in. And this is a Life Orb Moonblast coming out with the Draco Meteor. The Moonblast is so much. And we win. That's 3-2 now, I believe. See what I mean? Honestly, I was hoping I'd win all 9 games. I mean, of course I was. But I'm having fun with this team either way. And when the prep was going so badly for so long, I think that's important for this tournament. It's not like I'm a top player. It's not like I'm trying to go to Worlds. I wouldn't have time to go this year if I qualified. And I'm not about to. But I'm definitely going to have fun with this team, one way or another. Moltres, Galarian Moltres, Koraidon, Hearthflame Mask Ogerpon, and Urshifu, Incineroar, Lilbone. They could have Tailwind on the Moltres. They don't have Trick Room. They do have double Fake Out annoying stuff. They don't have a Fairy type before Terra. Whimsicott, Regidrago, certainly will bring Chi-Yu this time, and they could have Terra Fairy something. I'd probably bring Zacian. That's the basic mode, like I said. Sometimes you lead Chi-Yu with Regidrago, but the Tailwind support from Whimsicott is very valuable in a lot of matchups. Okay, Koraidon and Ogerpon. The Ogerpon can't be Terra Fairy. The Koraidon can, but it's not very likely. So I feel safe enough here to Tailwind and Dragon Energy. It's Terra Fire, standard Koraidon. I imagine it should do big damage. It'll do big damage to Rillaboom too. They could Grassy Glide here to chip me down, but they don't. And they lose both of their Pokemon. See, that's what I like to see from Regidrago. Yeah, okay. That's what, the second game like that, this video? And I believe that's 6 games down with a record of 4-2. 3 more. Another Kyogre team. This one doesn't have Fake Out. It does have Zapdos. And it has Tailwind. I assume Rapid Strike or Shifu. Which is actually potentially a problem here. I think I lead Whimsicott, Regidrago. I can get the jump on most of their modes with that. Protecting the if I see their Whimsicott, I can protect Regidrago and then go Cotton Spore Dragon Energy turn 2. If I see Urshifu, I can swap to Ogerpon, and this is definitely a team that could have a Terra Fairy something, plus Chi-Yu's not that great here. I keep bringing Zacian because I'm speculating that I'll see a Terra Fairy something. That's obviously going to be very different in an open team sheet tournament, and that's something I have to keep in mind here. Like I said, I have been practicing on the best of 3 ladder as well. I just prefer best of 1 ladder for content. But yeah, that's another thing that makes me feel good about a team, when a decent number of the problems I'm having with it will be resolved by just playing open team sheet. Anyway, I'm going to Tailwind and switch to Ogerpon, just like I said. I'd actually taunt my Whimsicott so I don't get my Tailwind up. And they close combat. Okay, they just got me with that. That's pretty unfortunate for me. However, The Urshifu might now be locked into close combat. In fact, I think it probably is. So, I'm going to Moonblast the Whimsicott, and I'm going to Terra Ghost. Gethel Dragon Energy. Save the Draco Meteor drop for now. As, yeah, that does literally nothing to Regidrago. This won't do anything to Whimsicott, but it will knock out the Urshifu. Of course, they have Tailwind up now, and I don't. Which is a problem against this Kyogre. Big problem. I'm going to hope that I can knock out their Whimsicott with this Moonblast, and I'm going to protect Regidrago. As actually they switch Whimsicott out. That means they can't knock out my Whimsicott, because they only get one attack off. Live on the Sash. Taunt is over. I can set my Tailwind now. The Kyogre has only used one move. It could be Scarfed. So, I think if it's Scarfed, I just lose. If it isn't, still in danger. I think I have to go for double protect with Regidrago. Again, I'll know what its item is in open team sheet, but... Okay, well I get the double protect. Zacian will be faster than Kyogre if it's not Scarfed. I love putting all my faith in that, but it is what it is. I'm just going to Sacred Sword and... I guess I'll... Every move has a downside. I guess I'll Dragon Energy. I feel like Regidrago is taking enough damage that that won't be a great play. As actually it just gets clean knocked out by the Zapdos, and the Kyogre knocks out Zacian. Alright. 4 and 2? Am I counting well? Have I miscounted? I'm not here to count, I'm here to play Pokemon. Oh god, what is this? Dondozo, Tatsugiri, Clefairy, Terrapagos, double fake out? That's gross. We'll leave Chiyu and Regidrago. Bring Zacian. We'll bring Fungus. We'll hope for the best. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna Terra Ghost right off the bat with Chiyu, and I'm gonna go for a Dark Pulse into the Bozo. And I'm gonna protect Regidrago as they swap to Tatsugiri. Who could have seen that coming? Although, you know, I could have... If I had really seen that coming, I could have committed to a double target into Dondozo right away. We do at least deny them an Order Up boost for now. Pretty frustrating double recovery that they get there. As I'm gonna fish for a flinch. Am I gonna? Do I swap to a Mungus here? I think I could swap to Zacian. It's immune to Order Up. Sacred Sword ignores their defense boost. Let's try that. I don't know if it's good. I haven't played a matchup like this with this team before. We also could get a flinch. We don't. Defense boosting Tatsugiri. I didn't even think about that. But Sacred Sword ignores defense boosts as they protect to get the recovery. Makes sense. Guess that was the turn to swap to Mungus. But I still can fish for a flinch here. I can fish with my fish. As that's my doorbell. We're going to ignore that for now. Okay, well, I can get a Mungus in here. Just gonna Spore and Sacred Sword, keep the pressure up. Okay, yeah, I didn't say anything, but you saw what they did there. The grassy terrain is finally gone. Maybe I should have done more to stall that out. I can potentially poison them here. You know what? I don't think I'm very likely to see a Dondozo at NAIC, so I'm not sweating this matchup that much, even as it's going badly here. Obviously, I could see a Dondozo. Dondozo's place in the meta is not dead and buried, but not super likely. Okay, we got the poison. That's a big relief. Now they have no recovery. And let's try to finish this off here. Get some chip into the Tatsugiri. Don't poison that, unfortunately. As here, I'm going to try to spore the Tatsugiri and protect Zacian from the fake out. Also get a little bit of grassy terrain recovery. Don't get a drop. They got the drop. Spore. Ah, taunt. Okay. Alright, that's fine. Sort of fine. Fine-ish. We're going to double target Tatsugiri here to try to get rid of it. We take that Grassy Glide, that's good. But it's Scarf Tatsugiri. We miss Sludge Bomb. Regidrago gets in here, and I'm just going to rip off a Dragon Energy. I'm not too worried about the damage that I take in the process. Actually going to Sludge Bomb the Rillaboom slot. Although they can actually do some good chip here. They do more chip than I was hoping for. We still get rid of the Tatsugiri, and let's see what the Sludge Bomb does to Rillaboom. Nothing, because it misses. Little anticlimactic there. Here, of course, they can just taunt Amoonguss again, so I'm just going to go for another Sludge Bomb into Rillaboom. I'm going to go for Dragon Energy to break the Terra Shell, as that also knocks out Rillaboom, so that's good. Do I get off the Sludge Bomb this time? Terra Star Storm. I still can get the Sludge Bomb off. And I do. And now, well... Oh, they already Terra'd the Dondozo. They can't Terra Terapagos. Terra Starstorm did about this much to Amoonguss. I'm going to double protect, get a bit of recovery, and then I think I can Rage Powder Draco Meteor, and that might just finish it off. But also, even if it doesn't, I might get another turn to play out of this. Alright, and that's 5-3. We went positive at a tournament. I know I said I'd play one more, but I do have to pause the recording for a sec. I'll probably be right back. We'll see. Okay, last game. Let's hope for a good one. It's standard Miraidon stuff, except there's a Hitmonlee, and also after I started saying that sentence, I noticed that there's a Latios. So I don't know what I make of that. Of course, Hitmonlee I think gets Fake Out, so does Iron Hands. Pick up Whimsicott and their own two dragon types that both are faster than mine. I lead Whimsicott Regidrago here every time. And I think I just bring Chi-Yu and Zacian. Don't think I overcomplicate this. As they go Whimsicott, Hitmonlee. I don't know what that does. Okay, I'm actually very vulnerable here to Fake Out Taunt. No, Fake Out Tailwind and then Speed Boosted Taunt on the next turn is what I mean when I try to get my Tailwind up. So much so that I'm honestly kind of tempted to just Terrasilize Whimsicott here. If it were open team sheet, I'd know whether that play makes sense or not, but I don't think any opponent tonight has accepted open team sheet. I'm just going to double protect. I'm just going to play it safe. But the play I was thinking about... Okay, they protect their Whimsicott. The play I was thinking about was... Terra Ghost Tailwind turn 1 while protecting Regidrago. But now here I'm just going to Tailwind and Dragon Energy. Try to pick up Hitmonlee. I know it will do nothing to Whimsicott. I don't know what the Hitmonlee does here except Fake Out. I think it gets Wide Guard. But I don't know what sets Hitmonlee apart from Hitmontop. Someone will choose to use it as I'm actually locked into Protect. Fortunately, it does work again. Blaze Kick. Ooh, okay. Blaze Kick. That Encore is a real problem. I'm gonna Moonblast the Hitmonlee. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Maybe I am. I want to Protect. Switch to Zacian, I guess. I'm just worried about switching Chi-Yu in on a fighting attack. Okay. Yeah, as I would have done that if I had switched to Chi-Yu there. The Hitmonlee could have a sash, so I'm going to try to Moonblast it and protect. I would just try to knock it out with Zacian, but I'm covering for a sash here, like I said. Tailwind, but they're still slower, and they don't have a sash, so they're just actually knocked out by the Moonblast. And I was going to say that I can get my... well, I still have my Tailwind up this turn. If they know this team, they could just Draco Meteor into Zacian. But you know what? Well, the other thing is they could protect here. But you know what? I'm just going to call they do none of that. I'm just going to protect Whimsicott, Terra Ground, Terra Blast me right on. And if they get me, they get me. I know I'll be facing tougher opponents on the weekend. Okay, well, they didn't get me. I know I'll be facing tougher opponents on the weekend, but in some ways it'll also be less chaotic than this. Unfortunately, I can't get my Tailwind right back up. Well, I might be able to. I can try to, but they can Onko my Whimsicott. I feel like Regidrago is pretty expendable, so I'm going to switch to that. I'm going to protect. Nope, I'm going to Terra Blast the Iron Hands. If they fake me out, so be it, but I have to play around the Encore on their Whimsicott. They actually just protect. They Moonblast Regidrago, but that's okay. I switched to Regidrago because I consider it relatively expendable here. I do actually think I'll protect it though, and I'll go for Terra Blast into Iron Hands. They fail their second detect. I don't know why that was the way they played this, but actually... okay, they knock out my Zacian. That's not ideal for me. Now I have at least a chance to get my Tailwind back up. In fact, I think I probably will get my Tailwind back up. Can't Encore lock me into something else. Go for Draco Meteor into Iron Hands. Tailwind. They can knock something out with Whimsicott, but they can't do that with both of my Pokemon. And actually, they don't protect Iron Hands here, so they just let it take a ton of damage. That means they can knock out both of my Pokemon, but it also means I just get Scarf Chi-Yu in here. And hey, if I hit my Heat Waves, I'm good. Let's see. Just gotta hit this. So far, so good. Moonblast does less than half. Just hit this Heat Wave. Might even get a second chance if we miss. They actually protect. This is Scarf Chi-Yu. They're not going to be faster even when my Tailwind wears off. Unless they set their own, but they have to risk taking a Heat Wave to do it. And it's actually, we just knocked them out here, so... okay, it's low best of one ladder, but hey, we went 6-3. Maybe that's a good sign for this weekend. I don't know, but that's the team. Not original at all. I completely copied it from someone else, but I haven't been to a tournament in a while, and that's what I'm using at this one. So, thought I'd have a bit of fun recording with it. And maybe I'll leave a comment that says how the tournament went, so that by the time you hear me ramble about not knowing, you'll already know, and I'll look like a fool. We'll see. But whether I do that or not, see you next time. Bye-bye, a go-go.